cafe a few blocks away, open 7 days, called The Brilliant Mistake. We're a crow-haired girl with scarlet lips and slender hips, served up coffee and cake. On a crackling stereo, the ghosts of Sun Ra, Charlie Parker, Miles, and Coltrane Blue. I'd kick back in my chair, that sweet old jazz in the air, and the sun shining through. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. Well, everywhere that I go, I see streets that are low on distinction and high on the banal and the bland. Get to this, we plumb the abyss by the twisted grace of the law of supply and demand. Well, it's no use sighing and no use crying over wood, wire, stone, glass, and cement. But there's a little record store with a wooden floor, there ain't there no more, that I used to frequent. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. Hey! Now I need to get out of this hollow balloon. And I remember an old-fashioned bar that I once knew, with an old-fashioned barman dressed in old-fashioned clothes. But when I get there, it's been bulldozed. So I follow my nose down Comatose Lane to the ripped-up, stripped-back wastes of woe-begone square, where I find myself on Deadbeat Street, my feet beginning to ache, despair in the air. The only thing bright in this blighted town are the billboard adverts everywhere displayed, like mocking shades. And the musty, dusty second-hand bookshop is now an amusement arcade. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. Well, I hope you can hear the words, folks. I hope you all understand what this song is about. Because I come from a place in Scotland, and every time I went back there, something else cool had closed and something boring had opened. And you've probably seen this in all of your own towns. To make myself feel better, I sing this song. And it made me feel even better if you sing it with me. The nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And enjoy singing the word shithole. Here we go. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's gone. It was the nearest thing to hip. It was the nearest thing to hip in this shithole. And it's 'twas the nearest thing to heaven, this shithole. And it's gone, 'twas the nearest thing to heaven. It was the nearest thing to heaven, this shithole. And it's gone, it was the nearest thing to heaven. It was the nearest thing to heaven, this shithole. And it's Thank you, you sound beautiful.